क्या scene है? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Namra Nasyr, and if you do not know me, I make videos on soft skills so that I can help you set a benchmark in the industry and stand out and be the most in demand. So let's begin. Today in this video, I'm going to discuss some of the mistakes that we make while preparing for the interviews. Number 1, not doing enough research.
Wait a minute, who are you?
Going for an interview without doing research about the company is like going on a date and forgetting the name. You need to do good research about a company by going through their LinkedIn, their website, their social media platforms, especially their live ad pages, reviewing their reviews on Glassdoor, checking out the company's employees' profile, checking out the CEO's profile, reading about them, seeing their articles, news, podcasts, videos, and everything that you can get. You should know about the problems that they're fixing, the solutions that they're offering, the challenges that they're facing, and the loopholes where you can offer your services. According to a Glassdoor survey, almost 88% of candidates fail in an interview because they have not done good research about the company. Imagine the HR saying, "Congratulations, you've been hired," and you being like, "हाँ वो आपकी company करती क्या है?" So the HR, being the representative of the company, wants to know how much you know about them, how much you care about them, and how much of homework you have done. Dr. Sullivan, an HR thought leader, also recommends that you should do your proper research before getting into an interview because this also builds rapport. Mistake number 2, over-prepping your responses. Yes, we all love a well-rehearsed line. But if you start sounding like a scripted robot from a sci-fi movie, it's game over. So according to Top Resume's 2020 Job Seekers report, almost 68% of candidates have admitted to preparing, almost cramming, their responses to the extent that they forget that they're in an actual conversation and they just keep on regurgitating the crammed words till the conversation starts sounding like a robotalk. In his book, What Color Is Your Parachute?, Richard Bolles has a special emphasis on the statement that interviews are conversations and not investigations. Loosen up. Have you heard that joke where that student crams an essay and he simply fills in the blanks for every other topic? I have many friends and Ahmed is my best friend. There are many different flowers, but my favorite one is tulips. I have many fathers. Cramming a script is only good if you are bad at the language, especially using English. Because a lot of people in Pakistan and have not been prepared well to communicate in English, they might face a problem and then they might have to cram certain answers. But that does not mean that you should only cram a certain type of answers. You should have multiple responses to one single type of question so that you can handle the situation. Because if you're trying to cram a script, you need to learn the art of acting and improv, which I'm sure you cannot. So just let it be. Mistake number 3, ignoring behavioral questions. Tell me about the time when. That's a dreadful question, right? And that is why most of my trainees have been avoiding preparing these, thinking, oh, we don't need to prepare for it, we'll just hack it on the spot. And they could not. According to a LinkedIn survey, more than 70% of the recruiters use behavioral questions to analyze the problem-solving, adaptability, and teamwork skills of the candidates. So do you think you're doing right by skipping on them? Spoiler alert, don't. Here's an expert advice. I've always mentioned the importance of the STAR method, and I would reiterate, use the STAR method when you're facing a question which requires you to explain your behavioral change or behavioral adaptation, which includes a situation, the task at hand, or the problem, your action, or your response, and the results. This also includes preparing for the questions about your strengths and your weaknesses. Mistake number 4, not preparing mock interviews. Many of my trainees have been missing out on the mock interviews just because it drags them out. And the result, a disaster in the real interviews. So practicing in front of a mirror is fine. It's just like my teaching you how to ride a bike without actually making you sit on a bike so that you can experience practically how to implement all your learning. The Talent Trends report of LinkedIn states that almost 50% of the candidates feel unprepared because they have never been through a mock interview. And we're mostly avoiding this process because we think that we might look stupid in front of our peers. What we forget is that we might still look stupid in front of the real HR and the real recruiters. Now you decide which stupid is better. Another survey by Monster also reported that 39% of the candidates sound too scripted and robotic during the interviews, and hence they are not able to build a rapport or a connection. I mean, unless your name is Alexa, you don't need to sound like a robot. And if you are just cramming responses, there are high chances of you going irrelevant and maybe not sounding too authentic. Mistake number 5, cramming your introduction. My name is Namra Nasyr. My name is Namra Nasyr. And Can I say it again? You forgot about your own self? Seriously? So more often than not, many of my trainees have been found to be cramming their introductions just so that they can sound more professional and impressive in front of the HR or recruiters. And the result is a disaster. An SHRM report on hiring states that if the candidate speaks for more than 2 minutes in their interview straight without stopping, they lose the interest of the HR. They're not being heard anymore. So according to Guru Guides for the interviews, keep your introduction short, crisp, concise, and to the point, and very relevant to the job. I've made this video on how to tailor your introduction according to the situation. It could be an interview, a networking event, or a business pitch. Life is full of opportunities. Be prepared for them. So remember, your introduction is like a hook, and it's more than enough that you tell them exactly what you have for them, and then let them ask questions out of it. Mistake number 6, not having questions for the interviewer or the HR or the company. Now, this is a pretty common one where most of the interviewees forget to prepare a question for the HR or the interviewer or the company they're applying to. Like I mentioned in this video, interviews are a two-way conversation where both the parties are interacting and they're having a conversation and they're judging their own compatibility with the other party. And it does not mean that only you as an interviewee are being judged, but it's also a duty of yours to judge the company and see whether you fit in or not. Not asking questions from a company is like going to a buffet and taking just a side salad. Why would you do that? Unless you're a boring freak who's there to bore the interviewers as well. Now you must be thinking कि ये दीदी तो हर बात से डरा देती है. But let me tell you, according to a survey, 47% of interviewers have rejected candidates who failed to ask them questions because they seemed disinterested, and HR doesn't like that. Because imagine HR thinking, तुम्हें मेरे बारे में कुछ जानना ही नहीं है, and you're like, हाँ सब तो लिखा है तुम्हारे बारे में, क्या पूछूं? Offense has been taken. So Adam Grant, the author of Give and Take, advises that you should have at least 3 to 5 questions prepared for the company that is going to interview you. Now you must be thinking what kind of questions you should ask. I've made a video on exactly the kind of questions that you should ask and the kind of questions that you should not ask. Do check that out and then come back here. Mistake number 7. Wow, that was cool. Being unprepared about the salary. Now this one is your mistake. It's not going to harm the company, but it's just going to harm you in the longer run. Because if you're not prepared about the salary negotiation tactics, then you're going to miss out on the opportunity of putting your exact worth on the table, which I have a video on. You can watch it right here. If you're not aware of the salary range, you can do the research through Glassdoor. See what kind of a salary you should earn at your position and with your number of years of experience. And if you forgot to do it, you should have a range in mind which should be your minimum threshold, so that whatever happens, whatever their salary cap is, you're not going to accept a salary lower than that. Everybody has an opportunity cost. To some people, a figure might suit well, but to others, it might not. So it's important that you have a salary in your mind. Otherwise, this is what's going to happen. So what's your salary expectation? 1 million PKR. हमारी औकात तो 35,000 वाली है. बाजी डन करें. You know who you are. So in order to not sound desperate, please be prepared for the salary cap, the salary range, or what is being offered in the market. And please stop using your friend's reference as my research or the market. They're not the market and they're not the data. Mistake number 8. Losing sleep out of anxiety. Now this is not in your control. I understand anxiety can be a problem, but if you do not take rest, you're going to underperform, because in stress, in anxiety, a lot of cortisol is released. Yep, biology. And that is going to make you do stuff that you might regret later on. And you'll be like, "My life खराब हो गया है, इतना life खराब हो गया है मेरा." So before this happens, or आपका इतना life खराब हो जाए, try to get some rest, control your sugar levels, take deep breaths, prepare well, and have faith that good things are out there waiting just for you. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. This was a video on common mistakes that people make while preparing for an interview. If you make other mistakes, please write them in the comments below. If you want to ask questions regarding the mistakes that you made, please ask, because I make videos on Ask the Mentor every Sunday where I respond to your questions, queries, and suggestions. So basically solutions tailored according to your needs. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you did not like the video, write in the comments what could be better, how it can be improved, and if it's possible for me, I'll definitely try to incorporate that. Until then, take a deep breath and remember that you are all that matters. Stay blessed and keep shining.